everyone. Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Karen. Today we're looking at part 2 of river crossing puzzles. Can you figure them out? You know, ever since we started talking about puzzles last time, and then I became really interested in, trying to figure out puzzles. Have you ever played Wordle?
Oh, that solves the puzzle of why you have your phone when we're filming.
I was in the middle of playing and I just couldn't figure it out.
All right, at least we solved that puzzle, but the puzzle you're doing on there, the word puzzle Wordle, it's been popular the last couple of years. A lot of people love it.
Do you play?
I play it every day.
Really?
I do. I actually play it on the bus almost every morning.
Wow, so you usually get it right?
You get 6 guesses, so I think I've only missed like 2.
You're good.
Well, I'm boring too.
I guess you have a lot of time on your hands. Maybe you can help me out here. I really don't know.
Oh, you're in deep trouble.
Am I really?
Oh, you're never going to solve that one.
Hey, I still have 4 tries.
Yeah, you have a lot of tries. You're going to solve it. It's not that hard.
It just requires a lot of thinking, right?
It does, and you also have to pick your words carefully because you only have 6 guesses, and at first that's like, I got 6 guesses. And soon you're down to 5 guesses and you have 1 left. And you'll be in big trouble. And that's what can happen with puzzles because they're testing your brain, they're testing your logic, often your memory as well. And our river crossing puzzle, which is much more complicated than that, will take a lot more work to solve. So let's get back to it and see if we can figure them out.
That's true. They can be so frustrating.
It's not that.
Can I try this one?
No.
How about like
you put the number 2 in there.
J-E-L?
Carol and Lewis continue working on the puzzle.
The man has some other concerns. For one, he must consider his item's safety.
Right. He can't leave the wolf alone with the goat. If he does, the wolf will eat the goat.
Correct. And the same is true for the goat and the cabbage.
This puzzle is getting more difficult.
So we're looking at part 2 of river crossing puzzle. Can you figure them out?
That's right. The man's over here. He's got a wolf. He's got a goat. He's got a cabbage. He's got to get to the other side of the river. He's got a boat. But the problem is he can only put one thing in the boat because it's a really small boat and a really big cabbage.
And I guess he has to make many trips, right?
This is what makes the puzzle hard to solve or to figure out the answer to because there's these special rules. And as we begin, it says Carol and Lewis continue working on the puzzle because most puzzles really will take a little bit of time to think about to find the answer to. So yeah, it does take time.
And sometimes it takes a really long time. Okay, well, let me start. Carol starts by saying the man has some other concerns.
Oh, no, not more.
So for one, he must consider his item's safety. Okay, so he has many concerns. What's a concern?
A concern is a worry. It's something you have to think about. It's something that's on your mind. It could be a problem if you don't handle it or take care of it, if things get out of control. But basically, it's not one of those things you're like, oh, it'll be fine. Oh, don't worry about it. We don't have to pay attention to that. No, if it's a concern, you are concerned. You are thinking about it, worried about it. You need to solve it. You need to take care of it. So that kind of thing. So he has other things to worry about or other concerns.
That's right. So what are some of your concerns, Mike? Just out of curiosity.
My concern is that you're not going to explain the word item. No, I don't have any concerns. Everything is perfect in my life, except, I have one concern.
What is it?
Where did the man find the giant cabbage?
Oh, I have no idea.
And isn't the cabbage super heavy?
I don't know, but it would last a long time.
That's true.
Okay, well, the next vocabulary word is item, and that is a noun. So when you're talking about an item, basically you're talking about a thing. So you could go to the supermarket and you want to buy a few things, so you will buy a few items. Maybe you will make a shopping list and then you'll write down maybe 5 items. That means 5 things that you need to buy. So an item basically just means a thing.
There you go. And I don't have a lot of concerns concerns right now, but sometimes for people, a concern can be their safety. Because safety is being safe. It's being protected, not being in danger, not having the chance of being hurt or killed or something like that. Right now, my safety is not a concern because I know you are a black belt in karate.
I am?
And you're like a ninja, and you will keep me safe no matter what, right?
I would try.
All right, I hope you will. All right, let's get back to the dialogue, find out more about the puzzle, and hopefully find the answer. So what are some of the other concerns?
Well, we're talking about the item's safety,
Oh, yes,
right?
yes,
So what
right,
does
right,
Lewis say?
Right. So Lewis says, right. These are some of the other kind of rules of the puzzle. Right. He can't leave the wolf alone with the goat. Remember, only one thing goes in the boat, so that means he has to leave two things behind as he crosses. So let's say he puts the cabbage in the boat. He can't do that because he can't leave the wolf alone with the goat. If he does, the wolf will eat the goat because wolves eat goats, and also it makes the puzzle harder.
Well, okay, I see. I kind of understand now.
Maybe the wolf and the goat are friends. Maybe they went to school together.
Oh, we don't know. Okay, so
Anyway,
let's see.
that's the rule.
Okay, so then Carol says, correct. And the same is true for the goat and the cabbage.
Oh.
So that means you cannot just bring the wolf over first, because if you do, you're going to leave the goat and the cabbage on one side, and the goat is going to eat the cabbage.
Even though they went to the same high school.
And then you have to worry about the cabbage's safety, right?
That's
We're talking
right.
about the item's safety.
There you go. I guess if he could probably leave the wolf with the cabbage. That might be. Well, anyway, we might be getting to the answer there. All right, so as Lewis says, once you have all these new rules and things, oh, I can't do that now? Oh, okay. This puzzle is getting more difficult, right? Like when they tell you, oh, all you have to do is put the ball in the net. Oh, that's easy, but you can only do it with your feet. Oh, football is not that easy. It's actually more complicated because I know the rules now.
That's
all
right.
All right. Let's take a break, and hopefully somehow we will get the answer to this very strange problem.
For another, the man can't waste too much energy.
Ah, so he needs to get everything across in the fewest trips.
You got it.
Okay, let's see if we can figure out the answer to this puzzle.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were talking about some of the things you have to worry about to solve this puzzle, right? We have to talk about the safety of the items,
That's
right?
The safety of the boat. You
And
can only put one thing in it.
Yes. And then also you have to worry about maybe the wolf will eat the goat, maybe the goat will eat the cabbage. So there's a lot of things to consider, and Carol is going to add something else. Carol says, for another, the man can't waste too much energy. Ah, okay. Well, we have this vocabulary word here, to waste. To waste means to use something in a way that's not necessary or not very effective. So if you're washing your hands or brushing your teeth, you kind of just like, letting the water run without turning it off, you are basically wasting water because you don't really need water when you're going to brush your teeth like this. You only need it when you need to fill up your cup, to gargle. So, you don't need to waste it in a really, not in a really effective way, right?
That's right. If you only have one bite of your sandwich and then throw it in the garbage, you're wasting that sandwich. You could save it, eat it later, or just buy something smaller. Yeah, we don't like to waste things, and we especially don't like to waste energy these days, right?
What does that mean?
We know that the world is having problems with energy, global warming, all that stuff. Energy is basically physical power. You get energy by eating food, and then your muscles can do stuff. You can run, jump, walk, sing, do stuff. If you had no energy, you would just be lying on the ground going, I can't move. Engines get energy by burning gas. We need energy to power electricity and things like that. In power stations, we can make energy so that electricity or that power goes out, and that allows us, our machines and our living bodies, to do things. All right, so he can't use too much energy basically means he can't be going across this river all day because he'll get too tired, right? He'll run out of energy. Lewis says as we continue, now he's getting all the rules. He's starting to understand how hard this will be to find the answer, but he understands at least. So he needs to get everything across in the fewest trips. We know he can't do it in one trip.
That's right.
Right? But he doesn't want to have to take 20 trips. He wants to do it in the smallest number of back and forth across the river to save energy.
Exactly. So he wants to get across. Across is an adverb. Basically, that just means going from one side to the other side, right? So you want to get across, make sure that you do it within the fewest trips. You maybe like 2 or 3. I don't really know how many trips he has to make, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, that's part of the puzzle.
That's right. And then Carol says, you got it. You finally understand. Now you understand the rules. Now you have to try your best to figure out the puzzle, right?
All right. So yes, now he has all the information he needs. He understands all the rules. So he says, okay, let's see if we can figure out the answer to this puzzle, right? First, you have to understand the question, and then you can start going to the answer. Now they've got the question, they've got the puzzle, they know the rules. Now it's time to go, okay, so he does the puzzle. That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, hopefully. So everyone, get a good night's sleep, have a good breakfast. You'll need lots of energy, mental energy tomorrow to solve this problem. A man, a goat, a wolf, and a cabbage are depending on us.
That's right. We have to figure out this puzzle.
We'll get him home.
Carol and Lewis continue working on the puzzle.
The man has some other concerns. For one, he must consider his item's safety.
Right. He can't leave the wolf alone with the goat. If he does, the wolf will eat the goat.
Correct. And the same is true for the goat and the cabbage.
This puzzle is getting more difficult.
For another, the man can't waste too much energy.
So he needs to get everything across in the fewest trips.
You got it.
Okay, let's see if we can figure out the answer to this puzzle.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 concern 名词，顾虑、关心的事。The school's main concern is the safety of students. 这间学校最主要的顾虑是学生的安全。下一个单字 item 名词，物品。Many items in the supermarket are out of stock. 那间超市许多物品都缺货了。Out of stock 指的就是缺货、无库存。下一个单字 safety 名词，安全。For your safety, please fasten your seatbelts. 为了你们的安全，请系上安全带。Fasten 指的就是扣紧、系牢。最后一个单字 across 副词，横越、穿过。They got into the boat and rowed across. 他们上了船，把船划到对岸。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 A leaves B alone with C. A 让 B 单独和 C 在一起。Leave 在这里是指使保存、使保持某个状态。它的三态是 leave, left, left. Alone 是一个形容词，意思是单独的。我们来看看这个例句。Please don't leave me alone with the teacher. I don't like her. 请不要让我跟那个老师单独在一起，我不喜欢她。下一个文法 You got it. 你说对了，这是一个口语的用法。我们来看看这个对话。It's almost 7 p.m. I think you must be hungry. 现在快要晚上7点了，我想你一定饿了。You got it. 你说对了。最后一个文法 Let's see if 加主词加动词。我们来看看是否怎么样。If 在这里表示是否的意思，它的后面要接一个完整子句。Let's see if we can get to the station within 30 minutes. 我们来看看我们是否能在30分钟内赶到车站。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hello, I'm Matt.
And I'm Toi.
We're going to play a word drop. So we each have 3 cards that we haven't looked at yet. And on these cards are words or phrases that we will fit into a conversation as smoothly as we can. And I guess I'll get the conversation started this time, so let's begin. Okay. I travel a lot, and I like to travel by myself. So usually, I like the freedom of traveling by myself because I can just be in another country or another city and not even know anyone and just feel like it's total freedom sometimes. But whenever I tell my mother that I'm traveling by myself, she always gets worried and wants to know like when I'm arriving and when I'm coming back because she's concerned about my safety.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, especially traveling as a woman, like a lot of people think it's unsafe for women to travel by themselves because there's more dangers. But I don't think that's really true. Like for me, I think traveling across the world is one of my favorite things, and solo travel is one of my favorites too.
Oh, okay, yeah. When I do travel, I do like to collect things from my travels, like souvenirs and stuff. So, like what do I have? Recently, I didn't buy anything on my recent trip because I didn't have any baggage space, but I went on a trip before to India and I found some interesting things and like gifts to give to people and just like, lots of, cool little items that you can put around your room.
Yeah, like for me, one of the things that I love, well, actually there's a few things I love collecting when I take my international trips. One, I like collecting the currency, like the different type of money that they have in each country. I also love collecting shot glasses, but I usually don't have a concern when trying to find these things in these countries.
Oh yeah, so it's nice. I personally like traveling, but I remember when I was a kid that I didn't like when my parents went traveling. So one reason for that was, one time my parents went traveling and then I couldn't go with them, so they left me alone with my grandma.
Oh, that's not fun. Yeah, like that's not fun when you get left behind. But like you got it. It's really one of the things that I don't like being left alone.